What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is time for a new video transfer talk. And I got some names today that I hope to mention in this video once and it's over because, yes, just if I wasn't trying to do myself in, I'd call this video the uninspired edition. Let's just put it that way. I do have Jaka Bijol update 200 for you for this summer. Alex Moreno, no, and a couple of other things, including a midfielder who's become available at Napoli, who we should be all over, and quite frankly, a lot of Premier League teams should be all over as well. But I'll speak about that. And just one last, indulge me, people, one last Martin Baturina update, just to put a bow on that transfer, but it's an important detail of his transfer, and I'll get into that at the end of the video. But first of all, it's Jaka Bijol, who we've mentioned many times now. The clubs are still nowhere in agreement to the fee, which Udinese are looking for around 25 million euros in total, just purely on the basis that they've got to sell on to negotiate and deal with his previous club. So there's that to consider. But Newcastle have entered the fray now and are interested in taking the centre back on. Now, a couple of you messaged me saying, but Cage, we've agreed personal terms. How can Newcastle be involved? Well, I mean, just to get this out of the way, players can agree personal terms with like 5 clubs, 10 clubs, 15 clubs. It doesn't matter. They can agree terms with many clubs, but then it's up to the clubs then to decide with the selling club, you know, negotiate a deal in that way. So even though he's agreed terms with Leeds United and is happy to come here, if we don't get a move on and get a deal done and Newcastle swoop in and agree terms with him and then agree a deal, he will go there. Now, listen, we can offer him week in, week out football. We'll be at different ends of the table for sure. But we can offer him a platform week in, week out where he's in the first 11. Newcastle, he'll get Champions League games. He'll probably get games when Shah and, you know, Botman are injured, or maybe he'll rotate. I don't know. But he's got a better chat and a better financial package at Newcastle. That's for sure too. But it's up to Leeds United now to get this deal done. Because for me, this one's been dragging on a little bit long. I feel like we should be getting a bow on this one, which will then encourage other quality players to come when you sign a player like this. So if we can get a move on, get somewhere near Udinese we'll be happy with before the deal does get hijacked, because that is a distinct possibility. Even though with all reports saying he's happy to come here, all it takes is a better opportunity with a club that he may see more hungry to get him if they agree a deal, you know, in a quicker time than it's taken us, because that's important to players as well. How much do you want me? Why is it taking you so long? Why is this club just come in now, swooped in for me? That's why I'm willing to go there as well. It's all about money and opportunity, people, as always with footballers. But yeah, I do feel Leeds United need to get a move on. So the next video I want to do about Jaka Bijol is that we've agreed a fee. That's the next one I want to do in regards to this player. Alex Moreno, just a quick one on this one. We know that we've got an interest in him along with other clubs, especially at a 5 million price point. Year left on his deal at Villa. Well, Alex Moreno is willing to come to Leeds United, according to reports. So again, I'd be happy with this one as one of our 2 left backs. No issues with this at all. Very good experience head, good player as well. Nothing wrong with the player in my eyes as one of your 2 options, but it's about Leeds United then going to Villa and agreeing a fee. So that'll be the next point of that. But Moreno, by all reports, is willing to come. Now, if we don't get Jaka Bijol, a report is saying that we'll be interested in Cameron Carter-Vickers. And the 27-year-old US international who plays for Celtic was previously at Tottenham, but never, you know, cutting the mustard there. Was very good in the championship, you know, very good championship player, but then he goes to Celtic and do what a lot of players in England do when it doesn't work out for him in the top leagues. They go to Celtic, go to Rangers, and pad their stats, to be honest. And build their reputations, which is what he's done. And what killed it for me was I was thinking, oh, okay, what kind of deal are we looking at here? The report says 30 million pounds. I mean, just no, just no. One other thing as well, the other club that's being linked with him is Sunderland. And I just want to say this quickly. In terms of Sunderland and Leeds being linked with quite a few players, that is worrying. Obviously, there'll be differences of where they'd be in the squad. Obviously, for Sunderland, some of the players that we've been linked with together would be in their first 11. For us, they'd be squad. But I just feel as a team that was promoted on the 21st of April and with the standing and the backing that we've got, we should be looking at players that are not just being looked at by Sunderland, but that's just, you know, who are just about promoted, by the way. So yeah, that's a little bit worrisome for me, but we know that deals can be done in the dark like we've done with Mecha. And another thing with the Mecha thing, because a lot of the comments were saying it's no big deal, it's a squad option. And I agree with that, wholeheartedly agree. But it would be foolish to forget over the last few years where we've also signed players to be an option. And then by the end of the window, they become the main. And we've had it before where we've been looking for left backs, and then by the time the window closes, oh no, Pascal can play there. Oh no, Sam Byron can play there. We've been looking for tens. Oh no, actually, Willie Nonto can play there. So it's just that thing of absolutely okay. He's a squad player, third choice option. But if we come to the end of the window and just because he scored a hat trick against Harrogate in the friendly, hasn't got himself injured for a month, all of a sudden he's now one of our two main strikers. That's when the issue arises for me, in my opinion. So just wanted to clear that up on that point. So Cameron Carter-Vickers, 30 million. Good luck to you, but no, because for me, he doesn't get ahead of Joe Rodon or Pascal Struck. So no for me. He's not even in the class of Jaka Bijol. So that would be very, very disappointing for me. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. One other that we was linked with previously, he has been linked with a host of Premier League teams, but apparently Japhet Tanganga wants to go to Europe. So he wants to play abroad, and that seems to be his next destination. So good. So good on that. Again, this was one for me where he'd be a fifth choice centre back. He could not be one of your main four. Absolutely not. He'd be an option if you need to at that price point. So there we are. Tanganga, no interest in coming to the Premier League. Another one who we speak about being a fifth choice option is Michael Keane. He's going to be a free transfer from Everton, but he's been linked with both us and Burnley. It does seem that Burnley is more likely, which I'm very happy about, because this isn't Michael Keane of 2019, 2020. This is Michael Keane of 2025. And listen, if you're talking about him as your fifth choice on a free transfer, again, cool. But then so far that if he was our next signing, people, that would be two players we've signed that are basically for the bench. But all I'll say with Michael Keane is he's just a defensive liability. Like, he's very good at defending set pieces. He's got an attacking set piece threat, no issues there. But his general open play set play in defending is not good. And when there was games where he actually did get to play for Everton, when maybe three of their defenders were out and he was drafted in, if there was a goal to be conceded, he'd be very nearby. He's just a liability at the back. So again, I hope he goes to Burnley. Good luck to him. Burnley need to get some players in there, losing players, left, right, and center at this point. Good luck to him at Burnley if he's to go there. So yeah, hopefully I never have to speak about those three links again. Joe Gelhardt, no. Wrexham are considering him as one of the striker options they're looking at. Wrexham would be a good move for him, getting closer to Liverpool, back home for him. Obviously, we know Joe Gelhardt does need a new place to go. And yeah, this one would be, Wrexham. Yeah, good level. Good luck to Joe Gelhardt if he's to go there. Now, on to more exciting things for me is a player that has just played for the Italian champions, Napoli, and was previously at Fulham. Okay, and this player is an absolute monster in midfield. Frank Zambo Anguissa, we're just going to call him Anguissa just for short. But Napoli only won 18 million euros for him. And I was looking at this a few days ago when this first came up, but he's being linked with a move to Besiktas. Now, they're a big club in Turkey. I'm not taking that away from them, but they've only finished fourth this year. They're in Europa League qualifiers. They're not even in the outright Europa League yet. But at 18 million euros, which is around 16 million pounds, 15 to 16 million pounds, how are there not Premier League clubs going in for this guy? He, 29 years old. He's still in his peak of his career. He's come off playing, great games for Napoli in that midfield, but Napoli are buying other players, so he's now available for transfer. Now, this is someone who comes in and becomes our best midfielder. And that's what I'm looking at. I want to look at players who come in and absolutely become your number one midfielder. And he is that, because he does everything: defense, attacking, running. He does all of that stuff. There's nothing that this guy doesn't do in the central midfield. So it's just interesting for me. 18 million euros. You've got to be in this conversation. Now, maybe he doesn't want to come back to the Premier League. That could be something. Maybe he wants to stay in Europe. But man, if you're not talking about this guy, you're doing something wrong, especially at that price point for what would be your first choice midfielder. Anguissa is an absolute killer. I'd love him at Leeds United, absolutely. And just to finish this video, and I promise you it will be the last one, but Baturina, as we know, has moved to Como with Cesc Fabregas in Italy. He has signed. It's all done. But I just wanted to point this out in the deal. He will become an official player of Como on the 1st of July. So people, it wasn't even the case of that if we were to get him for the price point that it was, which was around 17 million euros over the duration of his contract, and plus add-ons as well, bonus add-ons. it would have been done in the next period, man. And that's the thing that's gutting about it. If it was all done before, I can maybe understand. But for a talent like this, he was available, and July 1st, Dynamo were willing to deal at that price point at that date. But yeah, that will be the last time. I promise, people. I promise. I promise. I try not to break it this time. But that is the video, people. And listen, they're not all going to be bangers. They're not. I got to say, I didn't have much enthusiasm doing this one with the names mentioned, but they're out there, so I have to speak about them. But guys, give me your thoughts and feelings in the comments. Like the video, please. Free to do. Helps out your creator. Helps out the channel. Get more visibility. So please do that for me. See you in the next one. Hopefully, it's more positive. Peace out.